Some advice that I have for people who are taking school primarily through online sources such as Zoom or webex and whatnot is to make sure you're staying engaged with the teacher. This speech class has been primarily asynchronous, which hasn't been too bad. Something I'd recommend for that is like keep a list of all the assignments you have due during the week to make sure you're knocking those off the list and you don't forget anything. But when you're taking classes through WebEx and you're actually joining those meetings and interacting with the teacher, it's very easy to just like zone out and the teacher talks and you're not really listening. You got your camera off, you're doing other things and all of that. But to make that more like the traditional school experience, like coming to school and sitting in a classroom and like really taking in that information, I would recommend you like stay engaged, you're talking with the teacher, because of course the Zoom meetings are kind of awkward when nobody's talking and it's just the teacher talking to themselves, which is always kind of awkward, and I always feel bad for the teachers. But like when you stay engaged and you make that environment like more of the classroom environment, and I feel like the teachers usually do a relatively good job like trying to interact with the class, but it's really up to the students to like interact with the teacher as well and make that the more of the traditional classroom experience that you would expect coming to school each day. So just like answering questions, like I know my math teacher always asks for good news, like who's got good news, he always says at the beginning of the period, just to interact with the students and make sure that like everything's going good and everybody's having fun, and it's just more of a traditional experience rather than online, because it's very easy to zone out and you're not even paying attention, and all of a sudden you have a test and it's like, wait, what did the teacher just lecture about for an hour and a half? It's just something like stuff like that, which makes it a little bit more difficult with this online setting that we've had to deal with. But just try and stay engaged and listen and not have other distractions. Make sure you're in a quiet space with no distractions around you. But other than that, it should be good.